to the Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. Had a video today from Courtney Ryan. This is going to be a doozy. It's her asking women male salary again, but it's from a different group of women. I love the last one just because we get to see the craziness of how women think and how they think they can actually achieve some of these numbers. Or they don't even think of some of these numbers, but yet they have to be a millionaire for them to get married, right? So please like and subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that. And let's get to this crazy chow. It's chow time.
Between 65 and 70 for a 30-year-old?
It's actually 45.
Oh, okay.
Would you ever marry a guy who makes less money than you?
How much less?
Would you rather be single than settle for less than that?
Settle for less than the millionaire?
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan,
okay.
And in modern dating, a lot of our happiness tends to stem from our expectations. And unhappiness specifically, and the trouble that I think a lot of people have, stems from unrealistic
Just say it, Courtney. A lot of women have
expectations. So in this video, I have a group of girls with me, and I'm going to be asking them questions about what they want their life to be like realistically, and also ask them questions about what they want their partner to be like, specifically highlighting male income and salary. I'm also going to be sharing with them some statistics surrounding male income and the median male income here.
Oh, so this is going to be exactly like the last video when she asked those other ladies. I actually did not watch this yet. This came out literally 40 minutes ago while I was editing my last video, so I thought I'd take care of it right away.
In the United States for different ages. I also want to say before we get started, the point of these videos is not to make anybody look stupid.
She's lying. That's to make them look bad. Because it makes them look really bad.
Or to debate. That's just not who I am. That's not what we do on this channel.
Look at her like trying to not laugh when she's saying this.
The point is to have a conversation and really confront these unrealistic expectations that we have surrounding dating and specifically here around income. Just to start out, what's the ideal age for a guy that you would be looking to marry?
Like a 5-year gap would be good. So if I'm 28, maybe like he's in his young to mid 30s.
Okay, so like 33, we'll say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most women
You're
want about
28.
that range.
Like 32.
32. Yeah. And how old are you?
22.
22. Okay.
Well, she wants 10 years.
35,
Okay.
like in that range.
Okay, so want to go like 33 to go in the
Yeah.
middle? Okay, and then how old were you? 28?
28.
Okay.
Between like 25 and 35.
Okay. Do we want to go with like 30 maybe?
25, 30. Or the age of 30.
Maybe like 30 if we
yeah,
had to
maybe
pick
like
something?
30-ish, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm 25,
Okay.
so I'd say the max is like 30 or 32.
Okay. Do we
Seven,
want to go
5,
with
10,
30
5,
just to be
7 years.
safe
Yeah,
for like
Yeah.
marriage or something like that?
Reasonable.
Okay.
at max.
Ooh, I'd say maybe like 26 or 27.
Okay. We'll go 20.
How old is she?
How old are you? 21?
21, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pick 26
Fair,
or 27.
fair.
Pick one.
26.
26.
29, 30.
Okay. Pick one if you had to.
29.
How much of the family income do you personally want to contribute?
Oh, I love this question. They almost always want to say they want to contribute something, or like some whatever percentage they say. It doesn't matter what fucking percentage they say. They always say some percentage. But then when she asks, "Do you expect the man to pay all the bills?" Then they say yes.
I think ideally it'd be great if my husband were the like main breadwinner and I would do like part-time. That kind of thing where I had more flexibility, especially later on.
Imagine if men went to women, you know, babe, you be the breadwinner. I just wanted to work part-time, you know, slight jobs here and there. You want to take care of me? Can never happen.
We plan on having a family.
Okay. So do we want to do like 25%?
I'd say like 25%.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, 25%, but still wants the man to take care of everything. Right, that 25% is fucking nothing. You're not even gonna even contribute that 25%. Your part-time income compared to a male income that is taking care of all the bills is not gonna equal 25% of his income. Just most likely not.
Somewhere between 50-50 and 0.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect.
Stay-at-home wife, stay-at-home mom.
Okay, so 0%.
0%. At least she admits 0%.
Home wife or mom, but I wouldn't mind doing 50-50 as well.
Bullshit. She says she wants to stay a stay-at-home wife, but doesn't mind 50-50. Those two things are nowhere close to each other. Being a stay-at-home wife and not having to take care of any bills and not working compared to 50-50 is a totally different lifestyle.
Okay.
It's like crazy because I've never like really thought about getting married or have kids. Like I've just always thought myself as just being like a hermit my whole life and just being alone. Not in like a really depressing way, just like that's just.
Is she like an incel?
It's like how I always am. But
Uh-huh.
if I was to have kids and everything, it would be like in a marriage
In a marriage.
situation. Yeah, I believe in like traditional roles like that.
Okay,
and
you
that
just don't
kind
know
of
if you
thing.
see that for yourself necessarily.
Yeah, but
The way they talk about it so nonchalantly. If I was to be married, yeah, I should. I want to be married. I mean, I want kids. I want to be married. Like, no, you should be married. Like, this whole, I kind of want kids with marriage. No, that's how it should have been. That's how it should be, and that's how it's not going, and that's why it's going shitty.
hypothetically,
Okay,
I probably want to be the stay-at-home mom with children.
got it.
Oh, it all depends on how much you make. I believe in 50-50. I think it all depends on breaking your own salary up. As far as like bills and expenses, again, depending on your salary, I think
Yeah.
it should go 50-50.
Okay, so we'll say
That's some
50-50. You have
bullshit.
kind of the team mentality. Like, we're going to do it
BS on this
together. We're
one.
50-50. Okay.
I'd like to be 50-50.
Okay. And
BS
you said
on
you
this
just
one,
graduated
too.
School
Yeah.
to be...
I'll be a clinical psychologist in a few years.
I like being a breadwinner now, but I think when I have a kid, I would want to be a stay-at-home mom.
Okay, so we'll see.
You can't be a breadwinner now and then not want to work when you have kids. Then who's the breadwinner? That doesn't make sense. You can't switch the role once you have kids. That's just why men traditionally are breadwinners, because we don't have to worry about the kids portion. We can still keep working on our careers and still produce income for the family when the woman wants to take care of the kids. This is why it doesn't work so well the other way around. If she was the breadwinner and bringing in like 100K and she stopped working to take care of the kids, I don't think the man's income is going to be able to provide their lifestyle anymore. It just isn't going to work that way.
Say 0%. Okay, so how many kids do you want?
I think
3.
2 would be great.
Wow,
Okay, and what about house size? Like square feet, amount of bedrooms, bathrooms?
5,000.
At this point, I'm not too picky, but definitely a house that would be comfortable, have enough space for the children and maybe a little room for extra, for visitors. Not too.
House that has room for all the kids, a little bit extra, and a guest room. She's talking about a 4 to 5 bedroom house off the bat.
Too picky at this point, but definitely want to have a comfortable lifestyle.
Okay, and then what about cars? Do we like luxury cars, regular? What kind of brand are we thinking?
Now let's see it.
I don't expect luxury, but definitely, it's got to be a good quality car. Maybe look nice too,
Okay.
but not too picky
Not luxury, but it has to be a good quality car, but nice too. So that means she wants a luxury car.
with that either.
Okay, so like, would you be okay with like a Honda?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what about
Lies.
vacations? Do you want to go on vacations regularly, international? Like, how important is travel to you?
At least
For
twice a year.
me, I've personally lived abroad, so I would love to continue to travel. But I think at least once a year,
Oh.
going on like a vacation
She's reasonable
or
somewhat, I
traveling
guess. Only
somewhere,
once a year.
that would be great.
I want you to describe your ideal lifestyle. So to start off, how many kids would you say you want to have?
Like 3, 4.
Okay.
I'm having a bit of issue on her like lips. What's the white stuff on her lips? Is this something wrong with her lips, or I'm just confused by it when I saw it the first time? Just thought I'd mention it.
And what about house size? Like square feet, number of bedrooms and bathrooms?
3.5 beds, 4 beds.
Okay.
Maybe like 2,000
3.5
square
beds.
feet.
Okay.
That's
All
not bad.
And what about cars? Do you want to drive a luxury car or just like a regular car? Like what brand?
I like luxury cars.
Okay. What brand if you had to say?
Like a
BMW.
Tesla, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which-
What about vacations? Do you want to go on vacations regularly, international travel?
I'd like to,
Okay.
if it's reasonable.
How many kids do
Oh.
you want?
That girl's actually pretty reasonable with her answers so far.
3. At least
Okay.
3 kids, yeah.
And what about house size? Square feet or like how many bedroom and baths?
I definitely want like 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths.
Okay. So
4
maybe like
bedrooms, 2.5
2,500 square
baths.
feet.
I guess because it
Is that
fits all the
enough?
kids.
Okay.
But still
What
a lot
about
of
cars? Do you want a
rooms.
luxury car or a regular car? Like what brand would you want?
If I'm having a family, I feel like I would just want, like a regular car that's going to be reliable. Don't have to worry about it breaking down.
Okay.
But if it's just going to be like me and him in the beginning, I would love a BMW, a Benz.
All right. So you would appreciate a luxury car.
Mhm.
All right. And then what about vacations? Do you want to vacation regularly?
It's funny, none of them know the square footage or even mention a square footage so far. The last episode when she did, at least they knew somewhat of the square footage. these women don't know anything about square footages at all.
International travel, is that important to you?
That is very important. I love to travel, so
Twice
both,
a year.
like, international and just, going to like fun different places.
So now, how many kids would you want?
I'll probably just say 2.
Okay. What about
Yeah,
your house
reasonable.
size, square feet, or like how many bedrooms and bathrooms?
Something modest, probably a ranch style. Probably not something like
Ranch
with
style.
stairs. Is that what it's called, a ranch style house?
Yes, they are called ranch style houses, and I would prefer a ranch style house myself. I'm not a big fan of stairs. I have like horrible knees. I'm scared of like my knees giving out while I'm going down the stairs one day and just like tumbling and dying.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, it's just something small and simple, just like a bedroom for us, bedrooms for the kids. A nice backyard though, probably a big backyard.
Okay.
Something like that. Nothing in the city, nothing around people, somewhere
See,
nice.
this is reasonable. What she's saying, 2 bedrooms for 2 kids, and then a decent sized backyard away from the city. That's actually affordable.
Right.
All right. You can live out your hermit life there.
Right.
Yes, we love that. What about cars? You want a luxury car, or are you just a regular car type of gal? What kind of brand?
Right now I'm saving up to just get like a Honda CR-V. I just want like a nice SUV. I
Ooh,
could,
reasonable
like, road
chick.
trip
Honda
and stuff,
CR-V.
so-
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not really a car person.
Okay, something that would work for your lifestyle. and
Something
fit
reliable
everyone.
with like low maintenance costs.
Okay, so we'll go with a Honda. That's fair.
Yeah.
And then what about vacations? Do you like to travel?
You know what? These set of women are a lot more reasonable than the last set.
Do you want to travel internationally?
Yeah, so I don't really get to travel much, but yeah, like I said, road tripping, like that's like one of the things on my bucket list is to go camping in all 50 states. So that'd be something fun to do if I had a family. Vacations, yeah, I'd love to go a bunch of places like India, Dubai, Thailand, countries like that. Always wanted to go and experience.
Everybody wants to go to Dubai, huh? Well, at least women. I couldn't care less about Dubai.
Okay, very
So,
cool.
Yeah, places like that.
All right, so travel would be important to you then.
Mhm.
Now, how many kids do you want?
I have an older sister and a younger sister, so 3 siblings.
Mhm.
I would be okay with 0 to maybe 2 or 3.
Okay.
I don't want a bunch of kids running around.
Okay, we'll say 2 just for the sake.
Mhm.
What about house size? Square feet, bedroom, bathroom?
Probably a 3-bedroom. I think a yard is more important. I like big yards. I like being outside.
Okay. What about cars? Do we want luxury or regular?
Preferably not like a beater. I mean, unless you're saving money and using that for something else. As long as it gets you from point A to point B. I'm not super familiar with cars.
Yeah, a lot of
but I
these
always
women
think
on this episode are like, don't really care about cars. They just want to, have something to get them to point A, point B. It's pretty reasonable.
Mercedes, those are
Okay.
really nice.
Oh, no,
What
I'm
about-
lying. She just said Mercedes. Freaking liar.
Vacations. You want to go on regular vacations? You want to travel internationally?
I don't travel super often right now, so I would love a guy who has some more travel experience. I would love to travel more and have someone to do that with and
Okay.
feel somewhat safe about it.
Right. Now, describe your lifestyle. How many kids do you want?
Oh, I want 4 kids.
4
Oh,
kids.
damn. Okay.
What about your house size? Square feet or like a bedroom, bathroom? How many?
I'd like maybe like 7 bathrooms just because if
7 bathrooms? What the fuck? I can't even think of any normal house that would have 7 bathrooms. You're talking about mansions that have 7 bathrooms. What the fuck? Fuck. And you have 4 kids. What's the extra bathrooms for? What the fuck?
my kids get older and then like my parents get older if they have to move in, and having enough room to like support everyone.
So the man has to have a house big enough to fit future kids and future in-laws off the bat. That's crazy. That's a big ass fucking house.
Did you mean 7 bedrooms?
Yeah.
Okay, you said bathrooms. I was like, that's
Oh, okay.
a lot
Okay. That's
Okay.
7 bedrooms is still a shitload. Holy shit. Because 7 baths, that means you have like a freaking 14, 13 bedroom house or something like that.
So square feet, what are we thinking? 5,000, 4,000?
I guess.
Dude, fucking Courtney, just giving them outrageous numbers off the bat. 4,000, 5,000 square feet houses? Holy shit.
That's 5,000. I don't really know a whole lot about square footage.
She's
we're
setting
just
them
going off
up.
the bedrooms then. Okay. And then what about cars? Are you a luxury car girl? Are you a Honda girl? What brand are we thinking?
I would like something
Benz.
like an Acura or like a Jetta,
Oh.
like still a nice car, but I don't really care for like the super duper bougie cars.
Got it. Okay. And then what about vacations?
I like Acuras. I drive a lot of Acuras myself.
Do you want to go on vacations regularly, internationally?
Yeah, I definitely want to go on vacations when I'm older. I want to travel the entire world. I want to go everywhere.
Okay.
Is it me or like women that want to travel the whole world kind of turn me off? Like, I don't know. Just for me, the thought of having to travel the whole world, or like the money that have to be spent to travel the whole world, or just like it just doesn't turn me on in any way. So,
How many kids do you want?
3.
House size, like square feet, amount of bedrooms and bathrooms?
Big house. 3 bedrooms probably at least.
Okay. What about cars? Do you want to drive a luxury car or a regular car?
Luxury car.
What brand?
An Audi.
Okay. What about vacations? Do you want to go on vacations regularly, international travel? Is that important to you?
That is actually. I do.
so almost every woman so far, international travel is huge. So, all right. Note to self, men, you're gonna have to travel if you want to hit one of these ladies.
If you want to travel, definitely before I have kids.
So keeping all of this in mind, the way that you just painted your life, what would your husband's income be?
Like 200,000 plus.
She was the most reasonable one, wasn't she? And then has to be at least 200,000. Oh, the fun part's about to start.
Yeah, like somewhere in that range.
200K?
Yeah, 200, 250.
Probably like 100K and up.
If the average is like 50, maybe like 70 plus.
Okay.
Reasonable.
Having
70 plus is
budgeted,
reasonable.
Like, a vacation fund and a savings fund. Saving money, fun money, divvying
Okay.
it up that
So
way.
do we want to say like 70K, 80K?
Yeah, I'd say so.
And you also said you would contribute 50-50, so that's 140 total household income. Would that be enough?
I see her face now, looking like, never mind. I changed my mind. I don't want to contribute anything.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, I think that sounds
No.
great.
The way
Don't
she's
really know how
saying
much
it.
like kids and all that other stuff costs quite yet, so I think that sounds good.
It would probably have to be a little bit so that we could do these things, because nowadays it's really hard to do anything without any money. So I guess maybe like 80K.
Okay.
Reasonable.
His
reasonable.
income should be something close to about 160,000.
Okay. And then you would contribute around the same amount?
At least these aren't like the 400 or 650, or the 500,000. These are a little bit more reasonable, but still pretty high.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you said the 50-50.
I would like to say maybe 100,000
Okay.
at least. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
We'll go
the
with
normal
100K.
answer, at least 6 figures.
You'd have to be rich, unfortunately. This is so high, but I guess you'd have to be like a millionaire.
A million.
A millionaire.
So you wanted a 32-year-old who's making 200K.
Sure.
What do you think the median income is for the age that you specified? For a 32-year-old.
32-year-old. Like 70 maybe, 65, 70.
You
The
wish.
Lower.
48,000.
Wow. That's actually crazy.
48,000.
No, it's actually normal. Your guys' numbers are crazy.
Median income for the age that I picked. I would say probably like 70K maybe.
It's actually $49,000.
Wow.
What percent of men do you think make $100,000 at 33 years old? Or like, what is the percent of men that you are wanting here?
I'd probably say maybe 30%.
30%?
15%. The top
shabby.
15%. So they're
15% is not too shabby. We're not counting anything else, lady. We're only accounting the actual income. That's 15% off the bat already. So you're starting with a very low pool.
There's one age from 16 to 75 where the top 30% of men make $100,000. So you guess 30%. So we'll try to guess what age that is, since you know it's not 33. Between
It's fucking
16 and
70.
75, there's only one age.
I feel like 45.
73.
73,
Really?
even older than I thought. Yeah.
Maybe I should go with the old man. Just kidding.
Is that out of your age bracket there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to take every job into consideration. 30-year-old, I'd say maybe 65? Between
No, she's
65 and
decently
70
close.
for a
Yeah.
30-year-old?
It's actually 45.
Oh, okay.
And
Trying to
you
be
were the most
realistic.
realistic one so far.
Yeah.
So the fact that, yeah, no one's guessing it right, because it's way lower than people
I mean,
think.
as long as you
I also wonder, how much money do these women make? Do they even make that 55, 50, 60 figures that they're thinking men make? Because if they don't, why do they think their men make so much more? It's kind of weird.
love your job and hopefully are investing it wisely, then I don't see a problem with it.
For a 26-year-old, what do you think the median income is?
I'm pretty
Dude,
sure
like
it's closer to, like,
32K or something.
60,000.
It
60,000.
is $38,000.
Oh, wow.
Fuck.
What do you think is the median income for the age that you specified? So a 33-year-old.
Mm-hmm. I would like to say around 100K.
You're
maybe
crazy.
80K. I'm not exactly sure.
It
But-
is a whopping $49,000.
This is how delusional women are. Like, the numbers that they're spouting, they don't even know if these numbers are even possible for men to even accomplish. And it's not. Most men cannot accomplish these numbers. And the ones that are trying, they will probably not give you the time of day because they spent so much time and effort to accumulate that kind of wealth. That is crazy amount of wealth.
Oh. Oops.
And it's just like, they really don't care. There's just oops, and they laugh it off. Like, they don't internalize these numbers and think to themselves, oh shit, am I tripping out? Am I a little bit delusional with my numbers? No, it's, oh, I'm still going to be able to get the man I want.
My brain was somewhere else.
I don't even know. Maybe 50
Okay.
or 60K?
For a 30-year-old, the median income is 45.
Okay.
So you were close
close,
at 50.
close.
So what do you think is
This-
the median
this chick wanted a
income for
millionaire.
the age that you specified at 29?
I want to say like 60K.
45K.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Does that shock you?
Yes, it does.
So I'm
See, it shocks all of them, but still do not internalize any of it to adjust their numbers in any way or anything. They're just going to keep the same numbers. They're knowing they're going to hit that millionaire sooner or later.
just gonna put what you wanted in this little calculator here. So $1 million
She's
at 29.
I mean,
It's
I've met a few. I have met a few.
Okay, we'll
It's
talk
possible.
about that in a minute. So it's a fraction of a percent. The top 1% of men are making 240 at 29.
Okay,
So you're about 800,000 above that.
that's why I'm single.
You said
Yeah, that is exactly why you're single. Fucking stupid. The women that use the copium to, oh, that's why I'm single, because there's not enough men that make this kind of money. No, men don't want you because your standards are just outrageous.
160,000 at 26. That is the top 2% of men
Oh, goodness gracious.
at 26.
Is it possible?
Yes. So
Let's see how she
think about
thinks.
the valedictorian at your high school, the smartest person you've ever met. They have a better chance of getting into Harvard than you do to find the 2%.
Damn, that's some real numbers right there. Your valedictorian has a better chance of getting into Harvard than making $160,000 a year at that age. That's crazy.
Percent man. Isn't that kind of crazy to think about?
Oh, yeah.
And it's just gonna go fly over their head. They're still gonna want that man. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll give you this to kind of put it into perspective. So think about the smartest person from your high school, like valedictorian.
Okay.
If they were to apply to Harvard, they're 5 times more likely to get into Harvard than I guess you would be to find this 1% man.
Look at her face. Just like,
Because there's a 5% acceptance rate at Harvard.
and then you got to understand, this is the top of the top. He is a valedictorian, right? Are you the top of the top women to be able to have access to these men? I'm going to doubt that.
And yours
Okay.
is less than 1%. So it's actually probably more than 5 times.
So I'm gonna be single forever.
And just to make things make more
You see this? This is exactly what's going on. This is exactly why women are going to be lonely and single. This is why women are going to be the biggest demographic of homelessness. They look at her thought process. There's 0.00001% man. Well, guess I'm going to be single forever. Doesn't even think about maybe I should find someone a little bit more closer to my numbers. No, it's just a straight up. I given up. There's no men in this field. I'm just gonna be alone and single forever. What the fuck?
sense. The median income never eclipses 61,000 regardless of the age.
Okay.
So 100,000 is
It's funny because she uses the median and all these like terms. I don't even know if these women know all these terms correctly or not.
obviously way more than that, regardless of how old the guy is.
Mm-hmm. And 100,000 is still a lot. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Over 70% of men never even make 100,000.
Yeah, she said 160 originally, but now she's like, oh, well, still 100,000 is still good.
Once in their lifetime. So
yeah, that's true.
But there's one age between the ages of 16 and 75
Mm-hmm.
where the top 30% of men make $100,000. If you had to guess what age it is, what would you guess?
Maybe 50?
73.
Ooh.
What do you think about dating a 73-year-old?
Nope. No thanks.
What is
Yeah. See? Well, when we tell them what they have to do to get the numbers they want, no, I don't want to date that. But that's the best chances for you to get what you want, income-wise.
making girls want men who make so much money? Like for you personally, just think of your own experience. Like
Yeah.
what in your life makes you want that or think that?
I think you're exposed to other people's lifestyles. And I think that because the internet is so like big and you can see all these things, it looks like it's more obtainable than what it actually could be.
Yeah, it's called you're fooled by social media. You're fooled by all these influencers that spend all of their income on those fucking Gucci bags or whatever it is to travel and literally have nothing to their name because they're trying to portray this lifestyle and you're falling for it.
It is based on statistics,
Yeah.
But because everyone's flashing stuff, even if it's fake, it's like, oh, I can do that too. I want that. And
So women realize this, but yet they still fall for it and still go about everything as if it's all real and normal.
What made you choose $100,000? Like how much is it? Maybe factoring in how much you make, how much people make. Have you ever dated a guy that makes that much money?
Typically, the guys I date, they make like 6 figures and more. So, and then like with my income, and then just know like the people who I attract, that's typically like their income bracket or where they're like heading towards.
Okay, so you've dated men who've made this much money.
Mhm.
And were you like official and exclusive, or was it more of like a casual relationship?
All of the above.
A mix of all of them?
Yeah.
What in your life,
she was
or
a
maybe
sneaky
people
link.
you've dated, your background, what makes 70K like a good number for you?
I'm making a little less than 70K right now. I won't disclose that, but or any more information. Like you said, 140. I'm not super familiar with all like housing costs and whatnot, but I feel like right now I'm at a comfortable place where I have some going to savings, some going to like investments, fun money, vacations. But yeah, I'd say that's a comfortable and somewhat realistic salary range.
And you said that you would marry a guy who makes less money than you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What made you say 160,000? Like, is it what you're doing for a living, your background? Have you ever dated guys that make this much? What kind of influenced your choice?
This is the question I wish she asked on the last episode. This is a very good question. Gives us a little bit more insight of their background and why are they spouting these such high numbers?
I've definitely never dated a guy who made anywhere near that, but currently, like for a clinical psychologist, if someone were to get their doctorate degree, they're looking at about 100 to 140.
You do realize a doctorate degree, you're a PhD. That means you would still be in school for another 8 years. You're 21. You're not going to make that kind of money anytime soon.
3,000 depending on where they live. So that's where I was basing my answers off of.
Okay. So what you're doing for a living, you're kind of taking that into consideration too.
Yeah.
Would you marry a guy who makes less money than you?
Depending on how much less, yes.
Because if you want 4 kids and you're going to contribute 50-50, what is your situation going to look like? Will you get a nanny? What are we thinking?
That's a good question. I guess I would have to get a nanny, but if not, then hopefully we would live somewhere locals where like our parents could help out as much as they could, an extended family.
Okay. All right.
I like that answer. That is actually a good answer. That's how Asians gonna do things. We live with, our grandparents. Our parents help take care of our grandkids, their grandkids, and stuff like that.
What made you say 100,000? Is it, relative to how much you make, or some people you know, or people you've dated, your background? Like, what made you say that number?
Honestly, now that I think about it, there are a lot of the guys I know that, my age, 28.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess like they wouldn't be anywhere close to that. So I don't know why I said that exactly, but
At least she admits it. She has no clue where she pulled that number out of her ass from. And it's easy. It's from society. Like, this is literally the number one thing that most women say. 6 figures, which is at least 100,000.
I think I just have this image in my head of, like social media, like you see like all this lavish stuff and all that business. But I guess now that I think about my real life, it does seem a bit high.
She thinking about it. Why do women not think about this? Why do they not think about this in their real life? How many men do they know around them that actually make these types of income? And out of these men, do they want to be with you? Like...
So social media kind of makes it seem like more people make that than they actually do.
Yes, I think so.
I think sometimes you don't realize that until you see the actual statistics, and it's like, oh, the median is actually half of what I'm asking for.
Exactly.
And I'm asking for a top 15%.
Yeah.
Man at 33. So have you ever dated a man who makes that much money?
I have not.
Have not, okay.
Mm-mm.
Would you marry a guy who makes less money than you?
That would be tricky. I make about like 50,000.
Okay.
So, that's kind of like average.
Oh, she actually told her actual income. 50,000. And she wanted to be the housewife. So at least she wasn't the one that said 50-50. So.
I guess. But if he's making less than me, that might be a little difficult.
Okay.
I would like for him to make...
I would agree with her. If she's making 50 and the significant others, the man is making less than 50, come on, man. You can make better than 50.
Make at least the same amount or a little more.
Okay. So going back to the number that you chose, $1
delusional
million,
one.
what made you say that number? Is it like your own income or guys that you've dated? Like, what is
I do wanna know her
influencing you
reasoning.
choosing $1 million?
Are you just straight up
Guys I've
delusional?
dated.
Okay.
But see, it sounds like money matters to me, but it really doesn't.
You said it has to be a millionaire, and there's only 1%, less than 1% of the person. You said you're just gonna be single forever. So yes, it seems like money really matters to you.
Because, I'm fine on my own.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like to feel like I'm being provided for.
Right. So those guys that you dated, were they guys that you dated like exclusively? Like, were you official with them, or was it more of like a casual thing?
Casual for one, exclusive for the other.
Okay. What made you guess 80?
Because it sounded like a decent number that could like support a family without being too like extravagant.
Right.
She's right. 80,000 is about the number. 70 to 80,000 is the number you're able to raise a family, and you just can't live an extravagant lifestyle. But you're able to raise a family with 70 to 80,000.
Something comfortable.
Yeah.
Especially the way she said it. She wanted 2 kids and she wanted to live outside of the city. That's definitely reasonable. Like, you're able to afford a house, a decent house, especially the size that she was asking for, outside of the city. Because the price difference between, say, Los Angeles and outside of Los Angeles is fucking crazy.
I wouldn't mind working though. I'm a daycare teacher and I love it, so I wouldn't mind like still doing it. Also, I make a little bit of money off of like my music and stuff. So, because I make my own music, so I make like a little bit of money.
See, you know what? She's not the best looking. I'm not trying to dog on her or anything, but she's very reasonable. She's a teacher. She makes money on the side also, so she's a little bit of a hustler. She's very reasonable about all of her assumptions of how much she wants the man to make and her kids and her house and things like that. She just wants a nice yard, which isn't hard when you live outside of the city. So, like, out of mates-wise, I would probably choose this woman out of all the other ones so far, just because everything is a lot more reasonable. She's very reasonable. You know, even though that she looks probably the least attractive out of all of them, the things that she says and the things that she's going with attracts me more than any of those other things.
Okay, so you have a couple things going on.
Yeah, so like that's why I would like to be a stay-at-home mom or wife or whatever, so I could like pursue those things and see if I could just make money doing things that isn't like an employee, you know, like a job.
Right,
like,
just stuff that you enjoy. Have you ever dated a man who
Awesome.
makes $80K?
No.
No. What are the ranges of men that you've dated? Like, what do they typically make?
Just like average. I never ask them.
Okay.
Like I don't know.
It's good. You
Like,
shouldn't be asking.
I don't think I've really ever talked about finances with someone.
Okay.
To be honest, I've only had like one serious boyfriend my whole life. The
Okay.
others have just been like dates.
Would you marry a guy who made less money than you? Ideally.
Yeah. It would just be difficult, but
Right.
I mean, whatever. If you love them, then it's really not that difficult.
Reasonable. I like this girl.
What made you say 200,000? Like, what about, you know, maybe your background, you never knew? Have you dated guys that make that much?
Yeah.
What makes you guess, or what makes you want 200,000 at 32?
I dated a surgeon. So I think for me, it's like when you get exposed to a certain lifestyle when you're dating a person, you kind of don't want to date.
And this is why men have issues with women that date around a lot. It's exactly what she just said. Once they hit a certain caliber of man, they do not want to go down in lifestyle. She dated a surgeon that made over $200,000. Now that is her minimum requirement for men, because she qualified for a man to date her that made that much money. Now that becomes the floor of all men. This is why men are having issues with trying to accomplish the things that women are freaking trying to get men to accomplish. It's nearly impossible. You dated a surgeon at that particular age that makes that much money. So this surgeon is probably in his 30s, most likely, because to be a surgeon that makes that much, you've had to been in your practice for quite a bit. Plus to be a surgeon, medical school, yeah, he's in his 30s, right? Like, it's crazy the numbers that they're coming out with.
Lower than that per se, but also like with my company, I'm in that range. So I want someone making the same amount as me or
So she's making $200,000 now? Is that what she's saying?
more than me, right? Like someone who can maintain my lifestyle as opposed to like someone who...
That's another thing. Men are not there to maintain your lifestyle. Like, why do you women see men as a fucking ATM? We are not ATMs. Literally just what she said. I want a man just to maintain my lifestyle. So what the fuck do you need the man for other than to give you money? Like, this is...
You can't. So if like they make 200K and I make 200K, like God forbid something happened, like I would still be able to cover life expenses with a family as opposed to not, kind of thing.
Right. So the fact that you've dated a guy in this realm kind of impacts, you know, how you view men of a man that you would want.
She dated one man in this realm. Now that is the minimum she requires of men to marry her. All right. Again, women that's been around a lot will all put you in a competition with all the men they've been with. And this is how women compare men. Literally, oh, I had this guy make 250, took me to dinner and to these nice spots all the time. Now you're gonna go out with a normal guy that takes you to Denny's, and he's a piece of shit because he took you to Denny's.
Be with, I guess.
Right, yeah.
And then also where you're at financially, you would want
I don't
someone
see
to be
her making
at your level
200K
or
right
higher.
now.
Higher.
So then it obviously shrinks the pool of men that you're looking at.
Yeah, significantly.
Yeah, I really doubt that she's making 200K. Just because the way she's been answering everything does not seem like she knows she's in that bracket.
And the guy that you dated, was it like exclusive? Were you guys official, or was it like a very casual thing?
No, like it was a relationship and
Okay.
he was doing a program.
We can't even trust women on this. No, it was a relationship. Yeah, maybe to you. It might not have been to him. You seem kind of young, and he was a surgeon that was making 250 grand or 200 grand plus in his 30s. I don't think he was taking you seriously.
like a fellowship, and then he actually went home to where he was from, which was Dubai. So
Oh, so you broke up
we
because
broke
of
up.
that?
Yeah, because he left. So.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds exactly what I just stated. You were just there. You were a STD, something to do at the time, you know?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
interesting.
Would you ever marry a guy who makes less money than you?
How much less?
Any less?
Oh, women. Women. Definitely only cares about the man's income. They have not mentioned anything else. She hasn't cared about him being a good father, anything. Just how much less does he make?
Yeah.
If a guy was great at 32 years old
Yeah.
in every single way except he made $48,000, would you date him? Or would that be too low?
48,000 is too low. If he was making like, if he planned to be the breadwinner, even like to me 80, 90K, I would go for, because if he's gonna be providing, right, I think that's more than fair.
See, then she's definitely not making 200,000. She's definitely not making 200,000 because she just said it earlier that she needs at least 200,000 to maintain her certain lifestyle. So now she's saying 80, 90,000. So yeah, you don't make 200,000, girl.
Yeah, but not too much less, because you still have to think, like, that's more like a middle class, upper middle class-ish lifestyle. That's like healthy to raise a family, but someone on 48K and you want them to be the provider, it just won't.
Right,
be
if you want to be
sustainable.
a stay
I'll agree with her that a 48K to be a provider and to be the breadwinner is a little too low.
at home mom and he's making 48, take home pay 35.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not gonna.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you ever marry a guy who makes less money than you? Like, would
That's
you?
like-
She says she's dated a lot of higher profile people. She's gorgeous enough to where, in my opinion, it's probably true. She does have that look. So
Would you marry the 33-year-old that you chose? The median income is $49,000. Would you date a guy who made $49,000?
I could. I just wouldn't want like somebody being jealous of like me making more. That would be the only issue. Like if they're fine with me like making more, then okay. But don't like be jealous and try to come from my pockets, you know.
It's crazy.
don't be jealous and come from my pockets. And then when men say, don't take my money when you divorce me, then we're looked at as bad. Like, you just literally said you make your own money and you didn't want the man to touch your money. So men view it very similar sometimes too, where we make good money. We don't want you to just pull from our accounts. That doesn't make sense. Just as like you don't want men to pull from your accounts because you make good money.
Crazy because only over 70% of men never make 100K even once in their lifetime. Wow. Isn't that crazy?
That's
It is crazy because I was able to make it, but I hustled my ass off with my normal job and all of the little side things and side businesses I had to even barely touch it. So it's definitely very hard for men to get to that stage in life. I'm 36 now. I've only hit that income once or twice a year, like twice now. So it takes a lot of work and effort to even stay within that range for a long period of time, unless you have a really solid business.
insane.
I think in 2021 alone, it was like 23.4% of men made 100K, but that's for the entire workforce. Men 16 to 75. So you have to assume most of them are older because it takes a while to make money,
Right.
you know. And only
Wow.
one age from 16 to 75 has the top 10% of men making 200K, which is what you wanted. If you had to guess, which age do you think it is?
Maybe like 35.
What?
75.
75.
35.
Jesus
Crazy.
Christ.
Would you date a 75-year-old?
No.
No?
No.
What do you think after hearing that?
Holy mackerel. It's eye-opening. It's things, that's helpful to know when you're dating and, salary comes up in conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I could date a guy that's making not as much money as long as like there's planning and like, I don't know, it's just a level of comfort, I guess.
What do you think just generally after hearing like the median income and the statistics that I shared?
Wait,
Like,
about
is
what?
it shocking? Is the median income of 49,000, like, is that shocking?
No, not really. Based on like a lot of a few factors, just the fact that society's gotten so expensive. Well, just everything in society is so expensive nowadays, and I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not that shocking to me, honestly.
Right. It's hard to make money.
It's just hard. Yeah, it's hard to make money. Plus, a lot of people are.
It's funny as in the Red Pill and like all these other channels. It's easy to make money. You just got to put them effort in and you'll make money. If it was that fucking easy, everybody'd be fucking millionaires, motherfuckers. Like, shut up.
Are lazy nowadays and don't want to try.
After hearing the statistics of the 26-year-old making $38,000 as the median income, are there any compromises that you would be willing to make to
this is a good question.
the life that you just painted? After hearing,
I do want to see if they would make any concessions.
I would make some adjustments because I do realize that when you're 26, you're probably not going to be making like the height of your money. So I would definitely adjust it to be a little bit lower, but not as low as like the 38K.
Okay. What is the lowest you would be comfortable going?
Probably 60,000.
Okay. So what are your thoughts after hearing the statistics? Are you shocked? What do you think?
I'm pretty shocked by the statistics, but I also wonder like the education level of the average American to see like what that looks like in terms of like money-wise or the kind of jobs that the average person does get.
Would you be willing to make any changes or compromises to the kind of picture you painted of your life based off of hearing these statistics?
No.
Shoot for the stars, you know.
That means no.
But I think life is like about compromise, so you can't always have everything you want. So sometimes you do have to lower your standards a little bit.
What if the 33-year-old making 100K? What if he was great in every way, what you wanted for sure, but he was 5'5"?
5'5". That 5'5", I feel like I couldn't do it.
Has everything she wants. The age bracket she wants, the income she wants, but because he's 5'5", it's a no. And he's everything she wants. She said that he was the perfect mate, almost. Because he's 5'5", she said no. Delusional.
So you wouldn't compromise on the height, though?
No.
And only
Fucking
14.5% of men are over 6 feet. So then when you're combining only 15% of men that you're looking for are making 100K at 30, 33, plus the 14.5% of men being over 6 feet, you're really limiting your options there.
Yeah. There's someone for
That's why she's shooting for the stars.
everybody, though, so.
Hearing this, like, is there any kind of compromises that you would make to what you want after hearing the median income? Like, would you maybe not go for the Mercedes? Or would it be okay if the guy was 5'5"? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, cars to me aren't super important. Yeah, I mean, there's always compromises you can make. I mean, think like what are the odds that there's someone who's over 6 feet making 6 figures and is my age? Like,
That's exactly what fucking red pill men been telling you. What are the fucking odds? Like, this is what we've been talking about this whole time. Like, the odds are so slim. You guys keep saying 6 freaking feet, 6-pack, 6 figures. Those are almost nearly impossible figures that men can achieve.
Right.
That I understand that's
between
not that
20 and 40, I think the men who are 6 feet making 6 figures is like 2%.
Yeah.
So it's something crazy.
And I get that.
It's crazy. After hearing
Yeah, and it's funny that they don't compare. These are top 1%, 15% of men. Are you the top 1% of women? Are you the nicest women, the most feminine women, the best looking women, that are going to take care of these men? No, you're not. And you're not even willing to do some of the things that these men want you to do. What makes you think they're going to pick you?
these statistics, like, what are your thoughts? Would you be willing to make any changes or compromises, kind of seeing how rare it is what you're asking for?
Yeah, I think you have to, right? Because in my opinion, dating is also like competition. Like, there's other people who are qualified and want the same
she knows
things
at
you
least.
want.
Yeah, there's
So
other
if you
women that
do
qualify
want,
better
like,
than
me
you.
and family and stuff, you'd have to keep your options open. That's just me personally.
Yeah, reasonable.
As long as it's not like, I know it sounds unfair to say, like 50K, 40K, 35K won't be sustainable for me personally, but like 80K, 90K is something reasonable, and I think more people make that.
I think more people make that. No, she just told you that they didn't. She told you the median was 33 $39K. That means more than 50% of men make that much. So they're not the majority of men are making 90K.
That's just kind of like the idealized image I have in my head. But I consider myself to be a pretty flexible person.
Yeah.
So, you know, if I fall deeply in love with someone that isn't able to give me those things that I'm thinking of, then I can compromise. You know, I'll just go with what life brings.
This really reminds me of the video where I did with Courtney Ryan, where it's the preferences and non-negotiables. They're making their preferences become like they're non-negotiables. Like, these are, it'd be nice if someone made this much money. It'd be nice if they did some of these things. Having it as a requirement that for them to have to make this much, or some of these things, that's ridiculous.
The lifestyle that I would dream to have, he would have to have money. It's unfortunate, but like, it's not a necessity.
Like, at this point, like, would you rather be single than settle for less than that?
Settle for less than the millionaire?
Yeah.
I would not rather be single.
Okay.
I'm okay with settling.
Like, if you were to
Oh,
think
now she's okay with selling. Before, earlier, it wasn't.
about it more realistically, instead of thinking in terms of like dream life, like where the dream would be the million, what would be like a more realistic number?
Yeah, it's funny that women just live in this dream life that they always constantly like, oh, this is the dream life I want. I'm going to get it. Like, no. Your dream life, you work towards it, and then you see where you fall or where your gauge is. Are you able to achieve that life? No, then you might need to readjust. This is what men constantly do with our lives. You know, like, well, can I afford this house? No, I might need to readjust I need to either put some more hours at work or start hustling on the side, you know, freaking selling lemonades at a lemonade stand on the side or whatever the fuck it is, just to make more money to achieve those goals.
Or like the lowest number that you would be comfortable with?
That they make a year.
Yeah.
100K.
Okay. Yeah, you might
From a millionaire to 100K.
have to make some compromises with that. What would you be willing to compromise if you were to settle for the guy who's making 100K?
Don't have to have a fancy car.
Okay.
Cute little house is fine. I mean, as long as we're happy and I have kids, because I want kids.
So the kids are the only compromise that you really wouldn't?
Yeah, I would not. If they don't want kids, I wouldn't.
Okay. $100,000 at 29
that's a true non-negotiable.
Is the top 11% of men at 29. So still pretty small, but more realistic than the millionaire for sure. The median income never eclipses $61,000, regardless of the age, 16 to 75.
That's actually surprising. I would see that like for women, but for men, that's surprising to me.
And what do you think makes you think that there's more millionaires than there are?
Because I know a few.
Okay.
So
She knows a few. Out of the many people she meets and interacts with, out of all her life, she's only known a few. How does she not conflate that to there being very little of them?
it's just surprising that I even know that 1%.
Right. So you feel like it's so shocking that you know the 1%, so you feel like there has to be more if you know one.
Yes.
I've
seen people do it, especially now with like social media and influencers. Like I feel like there's so
Yes, because you're looking and you're following these particular people, and these particular people are the ones that are making it. They're making it into those six figures. Not everyone is like that. Not everyone. She literally told you the medium never eclipsed 70-something thousand.
so many of them out there now.
I think social media makes it seem like there's a lot more than there are. And
Very
I think
true.
a lot of like influencers and just people that are on social media.
And just her attitude and like her stuck-upness throughout all of this interview, just like really big turnoff for me. Like she knows better and she like qualifies better than every other woman in this freaking panel or something. Just the way she's acting. So.
Media make it seem like they have way more money than they actually do.
Yeah,
I have noticed as I've gotten older, people buy things that they cannot afford.
I am one of those people.
That's why you stay away, man. She is one of those people.
Alright guys, that is all I have for this video. If you like this style of video, you want me to continue bringing girls on and having these conversations, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. Let me know what you think down below. Also, let me know some other questions you would like me to ask girls in the future. Would love to hear your feedback and opinion.
How is that, Chow? I'm gonna link everything down below. Go and like vote and, you know, give her a thumbs up so she can make more of these videos. I love these videos. Just seeing I like that she actually asked, where are they getting this 100K, 200K from? I wish she asked in the last video, but it's great that she asked here. So I'm assuming someone told her in the comments to ask this, and then she did. So if you guys want to know more questions and stuff, yeah, go to her channel, comment on it so we can get some more content from her. So please like, subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys next time. It's chow time.